Greetings. My name's Kevin Amrine. I'm an education consultant for the IA&B. This is an audio version of my article for IA&B's primary agent magazine, the March 2019 edition, called A Truck and Costco. Where do you get your product? A truck comes every week. What if the truck doesn't show up? Costco. In my food and beverage insurance class, I discuss supply chain management, specifically how every business, big or small, has a place in a chain of suppliers and buyers. It doesn't take long to reach the conclusion that food and beverage insureds, like most commercial insureds, don't plan for supply chain interruptions. And as much as I love Costco, paying retail prices for goods like food and beverages that an insured must sell for a profit is not very profitable. Everyone knows that a supply chain interruption caused by anything, hurricane, fire, cyber attack, etc., can easily and quickly kill an unprepared business. So why the lack of planning? Because business owners are really good at what they do, serving food, selling electronics, building houses, etc. And they really stink at what we do, predicting and planning for disaster. So what role should a property and casualty insurance agent play in a commercial insured supply chain planning? Yes, there may be opportunities to sell insurance products that can help. Truthfully, outside of what's included in a BOP or available by endorsement to a business interruption policy, the insurance products in this space are often complicated, non-standard, and or expensive. But there's more an agent can do. Insurance is only one piece of supply chain planning. It's my belief that a property and casualty producer is in prime position to play a pivotal part in the planning process. Alliteration is my jam. Go ahead, try me. What follows is not the equivalent of a comprehensive and expensive analysis, the type available through specialized counsel, of an insured supply chain, its resiliency and contingencies. Rather, the purpose of these three suggestions is for you, the agent, to help get the insured's wheels turning and kickstart their planning. No one else is talking to your insureds about this stuff. This exercise will be frustrating and rewarding. It could save the life of the insured's business. 1. Start with two important lists. First list: all of the insured's primary suppliers and major buyers and where they're located. Next to each entry, list the likely exposures that could cause a supply chain interruption based on the location, hurricane, earthquake, etc. Don't limit thinking to exposures caused by natural events. For many businesses, supply chain interruptions could occur due to cyber attack, prolonged loss of internet, etc. Write them down. Second list: alternative suppliers and major buyers to those in the first list and where they're located. If it's likely an alternative is exposed to the same loss as the primary, the insured may consider exploring a different option. For example, an agent recently told me his insured owned a few restaurants around New York City. The warehouse of their primary supplier suffered damage from Hurricane Sandy. Unlike most insureds, this one had a backup plan with another supplier which they were able to engage quickly. However, the backup supplier's warehouse was only a few hundred yards away from the primary supplier's warehouse and was also damaged by the hurricane. Sheesh. Regarding the entries on the second list, how quickly could the insured engage the alternative and at what additional cost? 2. Review insurability. Are any of the exposures in the first list covered by the insured's business interruption insurance program? Are any of the exposures that are not currently covered insurable? Some policy actions, such as adding or endorsing additional causes of loss or adding or increasing dependent properties coverage, may be within the scope of your current program. Other exposures, like a loss occurring outside of the coverage territory or caused by flood, earthquake, or governmental action, are difficult to insure. I'm fond of saying there's very little insurance companies won't do for more money, and you likely could find a broker somewhere with access to a policy to address just about anything. Most insureds won't bite on such niche products, but it's good for them to know that you're willing to exhaust your resources to help them. 3. Review risk management. If the insured is the buyer, review any purchase agreements with suppliers. Is the supplier under any obligation to indemnify the insured in the event of an interruption to supply? For example, if you're insured as a restaurant, what obligations does the food wholesaler make should their truck not show up? If the answer is none, perhaps the plan should include shopping for an alternative supplier. If the insured is the supplier, are there any contractual obligations to indemnify buyers in the event of an interruption to supply? Are there exception clauses for any specific causes of loss? Act of God, delay due to government action, etc. For example, if you're insured as the food wholesaler, what does the insured owe to its restaurant buyers? If the answer is too much, perhaps the plan should include hiring counsel to review and improve contracts. That's all for now, folks. Until the next round, cheers.